I'm just so glad that you weren't hurt by those poisonous snakes, Miguel. I do not know what I would do if I lost you. You too, Kay. I mean, I just really can't imagine why I don't remember seeing the snakes like you guys all did.
You were probably so afraid you blocked it out.
You know, it's a common coping mechanism for people to block out things they're not sure if their mind can handle.
Sweet Charity can't remember anything because she was under the evil influence of the pendant at the time.
Timmy doesn't want to see Charity like that ever again. It scared the stuffing out of him.
Snakes from twigs. Oh, how evilly ingenious. I don't want to see evil Charity again either, Timmy. The demons possessing her could fry us for failing to kill Miguel tonight.
Tabitha have to do something. Timmy, whole new season of must-see TV.
Oh, there's only one thing to do, Timmy, and that's try yet again to get the pendant away from Charity. It's our only hope.
I still think Charity turned our shed into a snake pit and made him disappear after Miguel and I escaped.
How? Unless Charity's alien cohorts drop them from the mothership and then beam them back up.
That's one possibility.
Yeah, and another possibility is you're the Looney Tune.
All I know is that before my cousin showed up, nothing strange ever happened to anybody. Ever since Charity showed up, it's like something weird happens every week.
Oh, Noah. I miss you so much being away at school.
I really enjoyed our walk. We really needed it after all that pie we had. I hope you're still not worried about the angel's warning that something would happen to Noah.
I just can't ignore it, Sam. I mean, the angel said that your son would be at the center of turmoil that could destroy our whole family.
But we've called Noah and he's fine. I mean, how could he be at the center of anything that could cause us any harm, Grace?
Oh, you're right. I mean, Noah has never caused us a day of trouble in his life. And it's not like you have another son out there that could be the center of some upheaval.
You said Ethan was my son.
I have no memory of that. Why would I say something like that?
So you're saying isn't true?
No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Julian is Ethan's father.
No, I don't have another son out there that could cause us any turmoil. Noah is my one and only son.
Oh, my little crep Suzanne should teach Luis how to properly handcuff people without bruising them. Still, my injuries would no doubt be worse if Eve hadn't lied to Luis and Sheridan about what really happened that night that Martin Fitzgerald disappeared. To a crisis averted. Hello.
Well, Julian, have you had any thoughts on how best to separate Luis and Sheridan? Because we can't allow your sister and that damn cop to stay together, or Luis will eventually discover our family's darkest secret, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, I've thought about it, Father, and after much deliberation, I have concluded that we should leave Luis and Sheridan alone.
And you wonder why I removed you as my heir.
Well, be that as it may, Sheridan no longer believes she killed Luis's father. The threat to our family is no more.
This is so typical of the way you handle problems, Julian. You bury your face in a brandy snifter while things spiral out of control.
Fine. I'll put all my energy into separating Louise and Sheridan. Of course, the merger contract's dependent upon Ethan and Gwen's wedding. We'll just have to wait. But after all, if you're willing to risk the billions of dollars to be made on a union of the Crane-Hotchkiss family, who am I to argue?
Although I don't appreciate your tone, Julian, I do appreciate your point. Ethan and Gwen's wedding is the most important piece of business facing us now. If it doesn't come off as planned, the financial consequences to the Crane Empire would be disastrous. Ethan must marry Gwen at all cost.
I dread telling Gwen that I have to call off the wedding and then I love you, Teresa. It's not that I'm afraid to tell her. It's just, I hate to hurt her.
Gwen will understand. And if she loves you as much as she says she does, then she should be okay with it.
Look, Teresa, don't kid yourself. You know, she's gonna be furious. She's gonna be heartbroken. There's no way around it.
Ethan, I feel bad that this is causing you trouble. But at least everyone in my life will be happy for us. I mean, Mama, Miguel, Whitney, Chad.
And what about your brother Luis? How do you think he's gonna feel? Yes, Luis. And he hates me and my family. And I don't think he's gonna be happy to learn that I'm in love with his sister.
You know, I'm convinced that someone in your family killed my father.
But not me, right?
No. I know you had nothing to do with it. I think Alistair and Julian are responsible. Now I just have to prove it. You know, I've hated the Cranes my whole life. Now I just have more reason to hate them. They're evil. All the Crane men are evil. Your father, your brother, your nephew Ethan. They're all evil to the core.
Of the one who could sing so sweet, and I would fly on the wings of the bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
Chief Bennett, Mrs. Bennett, you'll never believe what happened while you guys were out walking.
Surprises.
Kay and Miguel were almost killed by dozens of black mamba snakes in the shed out back.
What? Snakes in our shed? Look, I'm calling animal control.
No, Chief Bennett, don't bother. It's weird, but all the snakes vanished right after Kay and Miguel got out of the shed.
Are you kids making this up?
Because if you are,
No,
it's
Dad,
not...
the snakes are real. They were horrible, Chief Bennett, and really gross.
Look, I'll go out and check it out myself.
No, Sam, be careful.
I will.
So, are you guys all right?
Yes, Mom. We were in the shed looking for lanterns, and somehow the door got locked. Next thing we knew, it was wall-to-wall snakes. Miguel saved my life. He used the fire extinguisher Dad keeps in the shed to freeze the snakes, got the door unlocked, and carried me out to safety. Thank you, Miguel. I'd be dead if it weren't for you.
I owe you big time, Miguel. I don't know what I'd do without my lady love.
I couldn't die and leave charity.
Ow!
Oh, sorry, Kay. Let me kiss it and make it better.
It's okay, Reese. No harm done. I don't know which is deadlier, poisonous snake or an amorous Reese.
You know, I seem to remember reading that mambas were tropical snakes.
Correct.
So, what are they doing here in Harmony?
I have no idea. I've been using my computer to try to find out.
Well, I think I know where all those snakes came from.
Where, Dad?
Well, I bet Tabitha could tell us. Can't you, Tabitha?
Uh-oh.
You know how all those black mamas got in our shed.
Father, there's no reason to think that Ethan and Gwen's nuptials won't go off as planned.
As usual, Julian, you don't have a clue. I've heard rumblings of trouble in that relationship.
Trouble? What kind of trouble?
Is Alistair here? One of the maids said he wanted to see me in the library.
Yes, Ivy, dear. I wanted to ask you some questions.
Alistair, you're on the speakerphone. Well, I should have known you wouldn't actually be here at the estate.
Are you disappointed I'm not there in the flesh?
Yes. I'd love to see you.
Well, try to hold on a little while longer, my dear. I'll see you at the wedding.
I'll look forward to it.
As do I. It's been a while since we had a chance to talk face to face.
Too long.
There's some things going on in the family I don't like.
Oh?
When I get home, I'm going to make some changes, shake things up. Till then, I need to know why Rebecca Hotchkiss seems to think Pilar's daughter is trying to get her claws into Ethan.
Well, Rebecca voiced some concerns, but it's much ado about nothing. Ethan loves Gwen, and he's going to marry her. I'll make sure of that.
Excellent. I'm glad you're taking a hard line on this wedding, Ivy. It's imperative that it go off without a hitch.
It will, Alistair. You'll see.
Still, I wonder where Rebecca got the idea that Teresa was pursuing Ethan.
Ask your son. He knows.
What are you talking about?
Well, I don't want to be one to tell tales out of school. But Julian has been encouraging Ethan to bed Teresa for, some time now.
What?
Thank you, dear.
You're right. Luis will freak out when I tell him we're in love.
Teresa, I'll talk to him. Don't worry about it.
No. Luis has a terrible temper, and there's no telling what he'd do to you.
Yeah, but I'm not afraid of him. I've gone up against him before.
I know. Just let me handle this, okay? I mean, you have so much to do. I mean, and dealing with Gwen and her mother. When the time is right, I will tell Luis.
Well, do it soon, okay? I mean, I want to be upfront and honest with everyone that we're in love. I mean, Gwen, your family, mine. And I know my parents and grandfather aren't going to be happy, but I'm determined to stand up to them.
That is one of the reasons why I love you so much. Because you are so strong, and you always want to do the right thing.
You know, there's so many people I want to know about us. But I'm first going to tell my Aunt Sheridan. I'll tell her that I love you. And I know she'll be supportive.
Your aunt? Of course.
What about her?
Sheridan is the key to Luis' understanding about our love.
You know, Ethan isn't like Julian or Alistair. He's a good and wonderful man.
I know you and Ethan are close. And you're more like brother and sister than nephew and aunt.
I know his heart. It's in the right place.
Well, maybe it was. You know, maybe he started out as a good kid. But money and power, they corrupt. No one's got more money and power than the Cranes. You know, now that he's a man and heir to the Crane Empire, he's a different person. You know, I've seen the way he throws his weight around with Sam and me. Even you.
He's just looking out for our family.
Whatever spin you put on it, I admire your loyalty for the guy. I remember Teresa had it in her head that Ethan was the man of her dreams. She had it all figured out. Once they met, they'd fall in love, get married. It's a good thing I put a stop to that. So now I'm convinced that the Cranes are responsible for my father's murder. There's no way I'd ever let Teresa and Ethan hook up and fall in love. Never. Hey, look, I'm sorry, you know. I don't mean to go on about how evil your family is. I know they're your own flesh and blood.
I understand how you feel. And if Julian and Alistair are involved in your father's disappearance, then they deserve all of your hatred. Mine too. Well, there's a first. We actually had a disagreement that didn't turn into a shouting match.
You're right. Oh, I guess Crane Security should keep an eye on you now. I've got to go home and get some fresh clothes. Won't take long. You know, this was nice. This is real nice. Yeah, maybe when we get together again, we can do it without fighting.
I'd like that.
Well, why is Sheridan the key to Louise accepting our love?
Well, ever since my brother met your aunt, I've had this feeling that he's wanted to have a relationship with her.
Well, Sheridan was interested in Louise, too, at one time, but it's too late now. I mean, when they're together, all they do is argue.
But that just proves that they have passion for each other.
I think you're wishing for something that will never happen, Teresa.
That is what everybody told me when I wished for you to fall in love with me.
And now that I have, I want to tell everyone about it. But you know, you should get some rest. You've had a rough night.
But it's still been the life, Ethan.
Teresa, there's one more thing I have to tell you.
What?
Talk to you later.
You have made me the happiest girl in the world.
Come on, Tabitha. I know you know what happened with those snakes in the shed.
Been nice knowing you, Tabby.
It was the same thing back when I was your paper boy. Remember when I thought I saw a snake in your yard and it turned out to be a twig? Like one of these.
Yes, it's all coming back to me now. And you were such a brave little lad facing that gnarled twig. Just like our Miguel was tonight.
I wasn't fending off twigs in the shed, Chief Bennett. There were snakes.
Nice sucking up, Tabby.
They were so
As smooth as a picture from Artemis. Why doesn't Timmy and Tabitha go get one?
Hush. We're not going anywhere until we find that damn pendant. If evil charity makes a comeback, it could be our swan song.
It wasn't that long ago that you were convinced that aliens had invaded Harmony.
But we all saw the snakes, Chief Bennett.
Yeah, copy that.
Actually, I don't remember seeing any snakes. She's pretending she didn't see any to cover that she's responsible for the snakes being in the shed in the first place.
Kay has no idea how close to the truth she is.
Julian, what the hell were you thinking, encouraging Ethan to bed the housekeeper's daughter?
I was merely having a heart-to-heart talk with my son, Father.
You're a fool, Julian, a blithering idiot. I just hope no one overheard you.
Well, I hate to cause trouble, but I overheard him, and someone else did too.
Who, Ivy? Who else knows about this?
Gwen. Gwen overheard Julian tell Ethan, dare I say it, to get it on with Teresa before he tied the knot.
Julian, you're even dumber than I thought, if that's possible. If anything happens to derail this wedding, I'll cut you off completely. You'll be living in a cardboard box swilling domestic beer with two-bit hookers if Gwen and Ethan don't get married as planned.
I bet I know why you're so happy.
You do?
Crane Security told me that Luis went home to get some clean clothes. You're glad Luis isn't here to pick another fight with you.
Actually, Luis and I just finished having a discussion where we disagreed on something and didn't yell at each other.
Really? Well, what changed?
Everything. I mean, Luis finally helped me to realize that what happened that night was just a nightmare.
But I told you not to get him involved in that.
I know, but I couldn't go on like that any longer. So Luis and Hank had Dr. Russell come over and hypnotize me.
What?
And get this. Under hypnosis, Eve learned that my memory of that night was just a dream. I projected Luis's father, Martin, as being the body under the sheet, but there was no body. It was all just a manifestation of the guilt that I felt over my mother's death. So the body, the coffin, the blood on my hands, they were all just symbols. None of it happened. I didn't kill Luis's father. And now that I know that, I can finally get on with my life. I finally have a chance of being happy.
If you could help Luis and Sheridan work things out. Because I know deep down, Luis really does care for her. And then I don't think Luis will be mad at me for being in love with Ethan. So, God, if you could, please help me by helping Luis and Sheridan be together. Thank you.
Luis. Sister.
What has you in such a good mood?
Well, I just had a nice walk with a wonderful woman.
Well, who? I mean, do I know her?
Yeah, you do. Sheridan Crane.
That was quick. Thank you, God.
Snakes, twigs. Come on, it really doesn't matter what was in the shed. So I'll just try to relax and have some fun, all right?
I'm hungry again.
Oh, me too.
So am I.
Oh, wait, how can you guys be hungry after all you've had to eat tonight?
Well, studies have shown that the metabolism of teenagers...
Can we raid the kitchen, Mrs. Bennett?
No, be our guest.
Just don't make a mess.
We won't.
You guys go ahead. I want to learn more about the black mamba snake and its relationship to evil.
You okay, hon?
Oh, yeah, it's just what Reese said about evil made me think of Noah and the angel.
Don't worry, nothing bad is gonna happen, all right? I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna dump these twigs and check the lock on the shed and replace that fire extinguisher with a new one.
Timmy, we're in luck. The pendant's ours for the taking. Let's grab it and get the hell out of here.
Oh, I don't want Charity to lose this.
Curses. Foiled again. Oh, now we'll have to wait till the chance to steal it presents itself.
Reese, I heard what you said about black mambas being associated with evil. You know, I wonder why, of all the snakes in the world, we have black mambas in our backyard.
Good question, Mrs. B. I just logged on to a website all about the occult. Maybe there'll be an explanation here.
Here's our chance, Timmy. Let's steal that pendant while these idiots are surfing the net.
You know, now that you and Luis both know that you didn't kill his father, I wonder if that will change things between you two.
I don't know yet. I mean, I do know that I'm the only Crane that he doesn't hate. Sorry.
Tell me something I don't know. You know, in fact, Teresa and I were talking about Luis and his hatred for the Cranes.
You were with Teresa tonight?
Yes. That's why I came here to talk to you. There's a lot I have to tell you, Sheridan. But you know, after what you told me about Luis, I think we're kind of in the same boat. It seems members of the Lopez-Fitzgerald family are going to become a big part of both our lives.
Why are you wearing that bandage? What happened?
Okay, don't freak out, Luis. I was the only one that was hurt, and I'm okay now.
What happened?
Okay. Okay. I had a wreck on Miguel's motorcycle.
You what? Where's your brother? I'll kill him for letting you ride that thing.
It's not Miguel's fault. I took the motorcycle without telling him.
Oh, this just keeps getting better and better.
I'm sorry, Luis. It won't happen again.
Wait a minute now. If you were wearing a helmet, how'd you get a head injury? You weren't wearing a helmet, were you? Damn it, Teresa, how could you be so irresponsible? Why would you take a chance like that?
No, you're right, Luis. I was wrong not to wear a helmet, but I went to the hospital, and see, now I'm fine.
You went to the hospital?
Please don't be mad at me, Luis. I promise I will never get on Miguel's motorcycle without wearing a helmet. Now, tell me what happened with Sheridan. I mean, why did you say that she was a wonderful woman?
Well, you know, because I'm her bodyguard, I've been seeing a lot of her and all, and... Well, she isn't like the rest of the Cranes.
So, you really like her?
I really like her. What's with the Cheshire Cat grin? Wait, I know what you're thinking, all right? So don't even start. You're not marrying me off to Sheridan just because I said some nice things about her.
But you said that you like her, Luis.
Yeah, all right, I've started to realize that I've always liked her. I like spending time with her. You know, even when we fight, there's just something about her that... No, you don't, all right?
What?
You're gonna get me talking about Sheridan, and then you're gonna start in with this love conquers all nonsense.
It is not nonsense, Luis. It's true. I know it is. And now that you have told me that you like Sheridan, I can admit something to you and not be afraid that you won't understand.
What is it you want to say?
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Luis, the most wonderful thing happened to me tonight, and I want to tell you all about it.
You're an idiot, Julian. Our family is poised to make billions of dollars when Ethan marries Gwen. And you not only tell your son to bed Pilar's daughter, you let Gwen overhear you. What is wrong with you, man? Did one of the nannies drop you on your head when you were a baby?
Alistair, I completely understand your outrage with Julian. Believe me, I do. But there's no reason to worry. Rebecca's fears are groundless. I had a long talk with Ethan. He understands the importance of his marriage to Gwen, what it means to him and to the family. Ethan himself told me he loves Gwen, so there's no reason to think that the wedding won't go on as scheduled.
Well, Ivy, I must thank you for being so astute. I'm glad at least one of Ethan's parents understands the importance of this marriage. I'll talk to you both later. Goodbye, Ivy, dear. Julian.
You venomous witch! As if tonight could get any worse, you have to wander in here and play tattletale with Father.
What can I say? I love watching you squirm.
You know, this whole thing is your fault for hiring Teresa as your assistant in the first place, putting temptation right under Ethan's nose.
Well, if he was tempted, he didn't act on it, even when you so lewdly suggested he should.
It doesn't matter anyway. The wedding will go off as planned. Ethan's just like his father. He'll do what he knows is right.
Why did you say that we're both going to be involved with a member of the Lopez Fitzgerald family? Luis and I aren't dating. We had a nice evening together and we bonded over some amazing things, but that's far from us having a relationship.
Well, it's just that earlier tonight, Teresa said that if you and Luis became a couple, it would be easier to tell him about us.
Us who? Not you and Teresa.
It's been a long night, You know, full of revelations and realizations. And one that may change the course of our family's history.
Oh my God, there is something going on between you and Luis's sister.
I realized tonight that I love Teresa.
Stop staring at Miguel and Charity or he'll notice and get suspicious.
Can't help it, Simone. I know my crazed cousin is to blame for those snakes trying to kill me and Miguel.
Will you listen to yourself? Charity would never do anything to hurt Miguel. She loves him as much as he loves her. And if she says she didn't see any snakes, I believe her. I think her fear of losing Miguel made her black out the snakes.
Simone, Charity is a freakazoid. When she's not having memory lapses, she argues with Therese. And let's not forget the night I saw her flying around the yard.
That was a dream.
Yeah, and I suppose us seeing the snakes tonight was a dream too.
The snakes were real.
And if we all saw them, why is Charity the only one that doesn't remember?
This site confirms what you said about Black Mamba snakes being associated with evil and the occult. We had a whole shed full of them. I better keep up my guard like she said.
She who?
Is that a horoscope?
Yeah. You want to read yours?
Oh, I never really believed in those.
Oh, come on, Mrs. B. It's just harmless fun.
Well, maybe just for fun.
This is our chance, Timmy. We'll get the pendant while Grace is engrossed in her horoscope.
Reese, come get some snacks.
I'll be right there.
Oh, that's okay, Reese. I'll figure this out.
Okay.
Hey, Charity, did your mother ever mention the exact time that we were born? I'm figuring out my horoscope on this site that Reese found, and it needs to know the minute to get an accurate reading.
Well, actually, it's funny you mention that, because she did tell me, and I thought it was so odd. She said you guys were born at 11:11 in the morning.
Huh. Okay.
Coast is finally clear, Tim Tim. Let's grab it and make tracks.
No.
Uh-oh. Jimmy wonders what Grace's thought said.
I'm not quite sure, but I suspect that her horoscope is full of horrible predictions for her future.
Oh, no. This is awful.
Jimmy wonders what Grace's horoscope says. Ask her, Tabby.
Well, I am a bit curious myself. Grace, dear, you sound upset. Is something the matter?
Tabitha, I just wish I'd never been interested in my horoscope. This is awful.
Oh, come now, dear. It can't be that bad.
No, listen to this. This fall brings to the close at last happy summer your family will see for some time. There are stunning revelations ahead for you and yours. A male relative will be at the center of turmoil. Be prepared, because your family may not survive intact. This is awful.
I should say so. Grace is right to be upset, Tim Tim. Dark clouds are coming towards her. And the best part of it is that they'll not only affect her life, but the life of many of Harmony's families. The dark side of the Force is in flux, Timmy. There's a major upheaval in the making. And no one in Harmony will emerge unscathed.
I would like to propose a toast.
To our continued happy marriage.
If I may be serious for a moment.
By all means.
Even with all our differences, there's one thing we can agree on, one thing we did right. That is Ethan. To our son, Ethan, And his wedding to Gwen, may it be as beautiful as it will be profitable.
Nothing and no one will get in the way of my son's marriage to Gwen. I want it as much as you and Alistair do. But only for Ethan's sake. Ethan will marry Gwen. No matter what I have to do.
You told Teresa that you love her?
I couldn't keep it from her any longer.
What about Gwen? I mean, the wedding, it's only a week away.
I'm calling the wedding off. I mean, I can't marry Gwen now. I mean, I love Teresa. It just wouldn't be right.
Ethan, this is...
Yeah, it's unbelievable, unthinkable, unexpected.
Yeah, all of the above and more. Look, you're my nephew, and I love you no matter what, but are you sure about this? I mean, do you love Teresa that much that you're willing to call off your engagement to Gwen? To cancel the wedding, to change your entire life?
Yes, I'm sure. I've gone to hell and back trying to sort out my feelings. And now that I have, there's no question. There's no doubt in my mind that I love Teresa and I want to be with her. And that's why I wanted to tell you first, because we've always been so close. But, you know, it's time everyone knew. And Teresa feels the same way. You know, and it just so happens that Luis went home. I'm sure she's telling Luis right now. You know, I wonder how Luis is gonna take the news that Ethan Crane is in love with his sister.
Well, what is it you want to tell me, Teresa?
The most wonderful thing happened to me tonight. I finally got my wish. My dream came true. Fate smiled down on me and granted my heart's desire.
Wow. Sounds like big news.
It is. And I know you're going to be really happy for me when I tell you.
Okay. What is it?